Opening statements and witness testimony began today in the resentencing trial for a man sent to death row for the murder of a Jacksonville couple. It happened in 2005. Reggie and Carol Sumner. They were buried alive in South Georgia. Two of the men convicted in their murders are being resentenced because a jury didn't unanimously recommend the death penalty. Jury selection for Michael Jackson and Alan Wade. It started earlier this week. A judge agreed to separate the trials. News 4 Jax reporter Marilyn Parker joining us now live from the Duval County Courthouse. Marilyn, the trial for Wade is the one that's going first.
That's right, and state prosecutors say that Wade was already convicted of 2 murders. So the state asked the jury, is it fair or is it enough for Wade to sit in jail and die of old age, or should the punishment be more harsh? Well, the defense said that Wade wasn't the mastermind behind this whole thing. And let me tell you, things got heated towards the end of court today when the state called co-defendant Bruce Nixon to the stand. When the state prosecutor called co-defendant Bruce Nixon to the stand, Nixon started to deny things he said in previous testimonies.
I was on Xanax and methadone at the time, so it's in and out of consciousness, you know what I'm saying? So he filled in the blanks for me and told me what to say. You know what I'm saying? I was guided into my testimony, and now I'm 35, I don't care what happens to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to tell the truth of what really happened.
Nixon was convicted of 6 felony counts of murder, kidnapping, and robbery of Carol and Reggie Sumner. The Jacksonville couple was buried alive in 2005.
In this area, there's duct tape on the wrist.
Nixon told the jury his lifelong friend, Alan Wade, whose trial began Thursday, called him randomly one day saying, "Let's dig a hole." Nixon got 4 shovels from a neighbor, and he, Michael Jackson, and Wade dug a 6-foot hole in Charlton County, Georgia. Nixon says he didn't know what the hole was for. But then the state started referring to his statements in previous testimonies. Then Nixon denied them. The judge says Nixon is exposing himself to perjury and that he didn't want him on the stand unless he knew what he was doing. The state gave Nixon 2 options.
You have to make a decision about whether you want to assert the right to remain silent or subject yourself to these other things. This is your call and your call alone.
I was going to tell the truth from what happened.
The state prosecutor didn't want to ask Nixon any more questions, and the judge didn't allow cross-examination, which didn't sit well with the defense.
Your Honor, once again, I ask you, no, you interject yourself. You just mocked the witness, Your Honor. I just put on the record what he said.
And additionally, I would ask that not be sent back. He's on our witness list, and we intend to call him.
If you're crazy enough to do that, so be it.
So the judge decided to have someone speak to Nixon about the ramifications of taking the stand. This gives the defense an opportunity to cross-examine him. We're told that may take place on Monday when they're called back, and it's going to start at 10 a.m. with the state giving their victim impact statements. Reporting live, Marilyn Parker, Channel 4, the local station.
So, Marilyn, outside the co-defendant, the state called others to the stand today. Who were they?
That's right. We heard from the medical examiner who performed the Sumner's autopsy. We heard a transcription from Carol Sumner's daughter. And then we also heard from the lead detective on this case. Now, with the lead detective, that was the only time that we got a cross-examination. And it was about Alan Wade's involvement. Some key points from that was that the state said Wade had a check in the hotel room that was written out, or supposedly supposed to be from Reggie Sumner. And that check was for $8,000. The state also said that Wade was in the room when Michael Jackson and Tiffany Cole impersonated the Sumners while on the phone with 911. The defense responded saying that the detective agreed that Michael Jackson was the mastermind behind all of this, but the agent said he could not confirm if Wade was in the room when Michael Jackson and Tiffany Cole were on the phone with police.
All right, Marilyn Parker reporting live from the courthouse tonight. Thank you.